Welcome all of you to our channel. Thank you for watching. I want to be single, but I'm miserably without sex. I'm the classic married guy. Met my first wife on literally the second day of the college. Started dating a week later and married a few months after graduation, when that marriage began to unravel after almost a decade. The disruption it caused to my framework of personal value sent me into a downward spiral. I left my grad program when I WON on an internship I had worked years to get and wound up unemployed and alone in a shitty studio apartment in my hometown. My plan was to play video games and smoke weed until my credit cards were maxed out and I'd have to kill myself. Then I met a woman, and you can guess what happened next. 2 years later, I was married again. To our credit, this time around has been more emotionally healthy and better overall. My first wife was the bubbly, optimistic type, and her relentless positivity helped me suppress my darkest thoughts. My current wife is dark and moody, and we bonded over our deeply pessimistic worldviews. At first, I thought I was breaking my old pattern. I could finally express the bad feelings I didn't want to acknowledge and started going to therapy to deal with my traumatic childhood. During the course of therapy, I began to realize that my big pattern wasn't avoiding my past prison. It was using my wife's validation to avoid past feelings that would have destroyed me. My stepdad was primarily an emotional abuser and would insult and demean me daily, mostly about my failings as a man. This was punctuated by weekly-ish physical abuse in the form of surprise wrestling matches, with the stated goal of teaching me to defend myself and man up, and randomly yearly-ish sexual abuse, wordless, confusing, and terrifying. The main fantasy I used to escape this reality was maintaining faith that I would eventually meet the one, a transcendent, luminous woman who would love and accept me as a man. 6 years of therapy helped me understand my patterns better. I realized I chose women who are happy with me, rather than women who make me happy. Solving my wife's relatively easy problems gives me a sense of purpose and accomplishment, and allows me to ignore the vast, tangled expanse of my own issues. I can't feel good about myself in isolation and need my wife's validation to feel worthy of love. In short, I've been close to drowning in the pool of my own shame for nearly my entire life. And having a wife is the only strategy I know to barely keep afloat. But now I want to scream. In some ways, I'm making big strides. I moved into my own apartment 2 years ago, while still committed to my marriage. I told everyone it was so I could get better sleep and alleviate my PTSD symptoms. It was true, but only half the truth. Since then, I've been able to fall asleep alone at night. Huge accomplishment for me. Completed a group therapy for male survivors of child sexual abuse, and sold my story at an art exhibit for survivors. Then, early this year, I finally separated from my wife. It lasted less than 2 months. In those 2 months, I was profoundly miserable. I thought I had generally eased myself into living alone, but to be honest, the lack of sex was the hardest thing to deal with. I developed a form of eczema on my penis from a combination of stress and self-abuse, according to my doctor. I feel like a creep for admitting how much I feel I need sex, but it's so much more than just sex to me. My therapist tries to encourage me to seek satisfaction in non-sexual relationships, but they feel empty to me. Nothing comes close to replacing the complete emotional, physical, spiritual validation of sex with a woman I love and trust deeply. While I can fantasize all day about casual sex with random people, I know from experience that casual relationships make me feel unsafe and insecure. The way I think about it is, friendships are satisfying when you can share your deepest insecurities with another person and feel seen and accepted for who you are. That's hard enough as it is. But what if your deepest insecurity is sex, and only having love, committed sex can make you feel truly seen and accepted? I don't know how to break this cycle. Thank you for watching our video. Don't forget to like, share video, and leave your comments below. See you guys on the next episode.